engage, Emperor's Divide, big team fight ability, but also can get out of those rough situations very, very easily.
It could be a Rakan or a Janna.
Okay. Oh, right.
Reckless Janna.
We're dogpiling for Verdant here. Lots of engage, lots of all in, lots of CC. All right, you want to see Janna from Reckless?
It's Reckless. His John is sick, and that's a way to save your back line. Like you see Vi, Yone, all these engagers. And Reckless can bring the wind. Or even the Rakan. He loves Rakan.
This is it. When's the last time you saw Janna? Yeah, the Braum disengaged. We got the shield as well. Trying to protect a little bit from this all-in from Verdant. I like it. I like this.
He was saying like they had the right background checks, and BAUS still came back as moderately toxic, partly because his playstyle is still a little bit controversial, bluntly, but this is the champion. This is the playstyle that he made his name on. He's on the Lumberjack Sion. He's got Phase Rush. He's going AD Sion. Bouncy special. Sion special, baby. Let's go.
Oh my god, finally! I mean, is there really a right or wrong way to play a game? It's a game. It gives you like a bunch of rules, but then apart from that, aren't you like a person with a free mind? Can't you just do whatever you want?
How serious an answer do you want? Because I can seriously pull out the academic text on this if you want.
Oh, go on, please.
Do we have to? I mean, there's a level 1 sort of happening right now. I think they're not looking for a little. Okay, so the answer is there is a really cool text from like 1900 and something by a guy called Johann Huizinga, who wrote a really cool book called Homo Ludens, which is about like the rules of play for humanity and how we make games, and the magic circle in terms of games. And basically, the idea is if you are all playing a game together, the idea is you all kind of abide by a certain set of rules within that kind of sphere of the game, and the whole set of essays and stuff on it, where the answer is if someone is playing by different rules to you, are you really playing the same game, and does everyone else have to accept it? And the answer is possibly not. But there you go, Johann Huizinga, Homo Ludens, academic games. There you go. Well, you can say I've spent my life in a correct way.
You know what? I am not disappointed. Thank you. I would still, however, not be convinced by you.
That's fair.
I think that
it's a great book. I'd recommend it.
You're still like he's still playing by the rules of the game, and like anything else is just the matter of perception.
Well, exactly that. And you're going to have those whole debates around it, but it's really interesting because there is a whole lot of academic texts around it if you were to care to go look for them. But Velia right now might need to care about getting away from his crub camp here, as Verdant are pretty swift to come and invade that and try and steal away the big camp. There's a Nimbus strike forwards. Reckless there lands the Winter's Bite there onto Obstinatus, and it could end up being a 2v3 here quite swiftly. As actually opposed to Velia on the enemy Krugs there, which Verdant tried to defend against. But the level 2's now hit by Los Ratones. Got a little confused there about which side of the map people were on briefly. I was too busy talking about academic text for video games, which is very me. But here we are.
Yes.
Talking about League of Legends instead, which is perhaps what I'm actually being paid for. No, we'll trade the Krugs on the other side. There's BAUS. Hasn't done anything too weird yet. He's just trading out in the wave so far. No name is around. We'll look for the gank on in here. There's going to be a fair chunk onto BAUS here. Gets the phase rush. I think he's just deciding I'm going to die here. Throws out the soul furnace and will try and clear out as much of the wave as he can. First death against BAUS. Of course it is. It's a Sion special.
Yay! And the count is officially open. Let's go! Oh, I'm so excited about this one. BAUS being finally allowed to play on his Sion. And by the way, Nemesis finally being allowed to play anything that is not Galio-shaped. I'm so happy for
Galio-shaped, so it could be other champions as long as they look enough like Galio that it counts.
Can I not elaborate on that statement of mine, please?
No, fine. We'll leave that one where it lies.
Thank you so much. Anyway, going back to the game, which started with the first blood, like, you gotta take into consideration that, yes, BAUS is not really giving too much with just, dying as a Sion. It's a typical BAUS stuff, but with the feats of strength, this changes stuff a little bit in terms of now that he's given one stack of those feats to Verdant, so now they're just one of those away from getting the upgraded boots and all the good stuff that comes with those. So now you giving away the first blood counts much more than it used to before. Even though we have the stats that I believe you have brought up, that feats of strength don't really relate to win rate so much, if I recall correctly.
So this is a really interesting one. Yeah, there was some stats. I think it was DPM on Twitter posted probably couple weeks ago now, where it was basically like, at the beginning of the split, the beginning of the season, a lot of people were in uproar saying, oh my days, the focus on early game objectives has really tilted win rates, and getting those early objectives has skewed how much you're winning the game compared to previous seasons. And the stats came out, and it's moved by about like 0.2, 0.3%. It's just those objectives, those early objectives have mattered that much. As long as they've been in the game, they've mattered that much in previous seasons too. It's just that people are now getting a more visual representation of it, and they're seeing how much they actually matter in the first place. It's not changed that much, just the perception of them has.
I have a counter argument for that though, because we just, if you isolate NLC from the rest of the world, we have a massive win rate for the feats of strength. It's not 100% as it was up to some point on day one, but it still is a massive win rate for the feats of strength. So isolated here, it still works and it still matters a lot.
Yeah, and there is a difference also between pro and solo queue too, right? But I think the feats of strength are attached to objectives, right? So in the sense that you get first turret, well, the win rates are like 70-odd%. Or if you get first kill, it's like 60% or whatever the win rate is. Bot lane, heal burned. Reckless will back away with the stand behind me, but he's still very low. Flash on 4 for the hail of arrows. Reckless just about alive, trying to body block, not enough. Now Crowny gonna be able to do anything to save his support's life, and Verdant pick up a second kill in the early game. They're off to the races here.
Oh, that's looking good for them. They're going to lose the Grubbies on the top lane, but at the same time, they have them in Fallen Drake, and they just secure the prio on the bot lane. Crowny has the recall, of course. Reckless is just walking back from the base, so they should be able to take this dragon with absolutely no resistance whatsoever from Lost RATONES, at least. Velja is getting those Grubbies, so that's still something to work towards if you're thinking about the feats of strength.
There are any doubts? There are any now. That's a Cull and a Dirk in inventory for BAUS.
Yes!
We are full committing. It is lethality style with the Cull.
Oh my god, let's go. That's gonna be so fun, but I feel like it's going to be similar to what we saw. Was it game 1 when he picked Cho'Gath on the top lane? Game 1 of NLC for Lost RATONES.
Yes.
When everybody underestimated him, but the thing is, he still was getting tankier and tankier as the game was progressing, and you can't take that away from SION. This guy naturally will be getting tankier as the game goes, without necessarily even building himself into a full tank. Just on top of that, on top of being very hard to kill, he's also going to deal a lot of damage to anybody who's going to try to come his way. The problem though, we gotta wait until it actually happens.
We were kind of like, we had a bit of an academic tangent off it about, like the fact he plays a very different game, but the point still stands that BAUS does know how this game plan works.
Yes.
It's not like he's doing this mindlessly. It's not just randomly doing things. There is a method to the madness, and he gets huge amounts of value from it. It's a very frustrating way to play. It is forcing a lot of other teams to reevaluate how they look at top lane and pressure from it, and especially within pro play, where that kind of really high level of pressure on one side of the map can be utilized and capitalized on by other members of your teams a lot more consistently when you're in comms with your teams, when you're in coordination with your teammates. That can be very difficult to manage. BAUS potentially in a spot of danger here, has used his ultimate. Papatero looking to see whether he can get a bit more value out of that equalizer, but won't really do so as yet. BAUS just gets to sit in this bush. The rest of the map just stays a little bit chill for now. Grubs and Dragon were traded, as you mentioned. It is Verdant who are still leading in the gold right now, though not by much, as the gold lead is somewhat shrunk by virtue of plates and CS.
It's very tiny. And funny enough, on the top lane, it's not really moving much in either the direction, especially into the Verdant's direction, despite the fact that that is exactly the part of the map where the first kill, the first blood of the game happened. So far, everywhere else, we're having a rather slow, often early game, which is kind of refreshing, considering the first games that we had today were bloody, and the first games of Lost RATONES as well, the previous week, were very bloody as well. Not always the good bloody, but just bloody, full stop there. Crowny, though, no, they're fun. There's a lot of members of Verdant right now on this both part of the map. The Dragon is not spawning anywhere soon, but there is an opportunity to search for a fight, maybe with Velja, maybe with a bot lane of Lost RATONES.
Blue buff stolen away by Verdant. Take that one with a little bit of coordinated play from the bot lane coming up to support No Name on that invade. The game just playing a little bit slow for now. Ronaldo steps on forwards with the Mortal Steel and the Soul Unbound, gets a decent chunk there onto the Azir, isn't willing to burn the ultimate or anything there, especially with the fact Soul Unbound just popped straight back to where he was. A pot in inventory, so Nemesis feeling okay to stick around for now. Worth noting with the Fate Sealed and a cease and desist from No Name, there is a possible full death combo here if they really committed to it, but Reckless and Velia are around, so it's that easy to make it work.
Scaring Ronaldo a little bit. If Ronaldo is taking a reset right now, that is good timing for Los Ratones to be around top part of the map, because the grubbies are spawning very soon, just half a minute before they're going to be up and running on the map. Los Ratones already have the first 3-1, so trying to get all the way to 6 with having BAUS on SION on the side lanes, that sounds exactly like the deal Los Ratones would take any day, because that is going to provide them with so much pressure. And we see how Los Ratones have been playing so far, right? Like, whenever BAUS is on one side of the map, dragging in the attention, dying potentially, there is always something else happening on the other side of the map for Los Ratones. And that's why, while you praising BAUS is absolutely correct, I think it's not just up to BAUS for having those crazy games pulling off in NLC, it's also up to the whole team being so well coordinated with BAUS and whatever he's doing, and allowing him to do it. Yes.
Yeah. And I think exactly that. The grubs are spawning. We're going to have everyone but the AD carries around, but actually Mishi has moved on up here. Reckless in a spot of bother, down about half HP, puts the door up, and now actually he's left Nemesis out to drive. Fate Sealed has already flashed. Won't be able to get too much more. The HP bars are low, but no one has died. Worth noting, Fate Sealed and the Chains of Corruption were both used to make that happen, though. So some big ult down for Verdant. As BAUS does not get the Decimating Smashdown, gets a charge in the backline. Massive damage into Velia with the Magnet Storm. Yes, BAUS is dead, but the health bar damage is huge. Velia goes down, though, as Ronaldo picks that one up, and BAUS goes down as well. They thought they'd found a moment there. They went looking for the engage, and unfortunately for them, BAUS goes down, and so does Velia.
Velia going down is the most unfortunate thing there, to be honest, because he also had to sacrifice the flash in the meantime.
Yep.
And now the grubbies are going the way of Verdant, bringing them closer to the feats of strength. They just need one more dragon or a herald, and they will keep having those upgrades for the movement speed. What happened on the other side of the map? Because, again, usually whenever BAUS dies, that's where we need to be looking at. Not much, to be honest. Crowley was getting those turret plates all solo, but it's not like he got much. He's on a ward.
There's a ward behind him. Yeah, no, BAUS just stands there and channels Q and gets punished for it. I will say, I thought for a moment there the turnaround might be pretty insane, but there is no Ezreal and there is no Azir to do the follow-up damage. So it all was didn't really in much service of much there.
It's good to have engage, because it's good to have disengage, and Los Ratones have a lot of both, especially of the latter. But they also need some follow-up, and it feels like Crowdy, while yes, he got the gold in, he's finally sitting on the tri-full, so that is a good point for Ezreal to be, especially if you compare him to Mishi's Varus right now. Still, it feels like Los Ratones are at the point where they really need to be rotating their main forces with them whenever they're trying to force a fight.
No Name is topside. BAUS at half HP. Is it just attack BAUS all over again? He face checks No Name, who gets a Q and a denting blows off with that Vault Breaker. So down to 10%. Waiting for the wave to come on in. Here comes the dive. Knocks him out of the queue. BAUS goes down. There isn't really much more to be done there. He'll clear out the wave at the very least.
It ain't much, but it's earnest work. At least if Los Ratones managed to get this turret on the bot lane, that would be something, but the timing is still not working towards them, because now No Name managed to get a reset. There is still Puppy Tiro pressuring this turret on the top lane, but they're rotating Nemesis from the mid lane. I think they want to force things here on the bot.
I'll try and make it happen. W comes on through, the Essence Flux Arrows, Reckless uses Stamp behind me, throws up the door, gets the Glacial Fissure down as well. Mishi now in danger, the Emperor's Divide doesn't quite get the value that Nemesis is hoping for, and the HP bars here for Los Ratones is not fantastic. Look where Ronaldo is. You heard a Brazilian Ronaldo, you've heard a Portuguese Ronaldo. Wait for Romanian Ronaldo. He goes really deep to set up his team for a few more kills.
8-1. This is the first time we're seeing Los Ratones having such a tragic early game to their name. Still, the gold lead is not that big. It's around 2K. I can't do math for them. I swear I can't do math, but that's around 2K still for Verdant. They're keeping to their name. And this whole action on the bot lane was just a series of unfortunate events for them, especially with this Emperor's Divide. It could have been big, but it provided no value. It brought Nemesis to very low health because he had to tank the turret for quite a long time. Reckless is already low. Crowley has no mana. And it's just such an easy and juicy setup for Vi plus Yona, which are a scary combo on their own. But when the enemies are just desperately trying to run away from you, it's so easy to press your ultimates and go in and secure the kills.
Is it that? Lost Return is still in this game, still got some good CS numbers, and the gold not that far out of reach at the very least. It's going to be a lot more even of a game state than they are used to, I think it is fair to say, and certainly when it comes to the kill score, it has not been as clean as they would like. It is purple across the board down the center of your screen in the scoreboard, showing that everyone has a lead, at least a slight one, particularly in that mid lane. Ronaldo currently getting significantly ahead of Nemesis here, who hasn't had the easiest time on this Azir versus his opposite number, Crownie. Arcane shifts away. Preventatively? No. There's another word for that where you do it early. It'll come to me at another point, but you get the idea, guys.
Yeah.
And we hold our breath for a moment. Still need one more neutral objective to secure that feat of strength for either team. We've got about 2 minutes until the Ocean Dragon spawn, 30 seconds until the Herald, and Verdant are the ones in the river right now securing the Scuttle Crab.
What's important is if Verdant get this Herald right now, they are getting full feat of strength. If Los Raton is secured, they still need to go for the first turret.
Ronaldo gets a decent double Q there with the Mortal Steel.
It's going to reset in the meantime, but everybody from the side of Verdant are in the top part of the map right now, still sitting this poor turret in the top lane. Oh, Nemesis did it.
Nice chunk. Get nice damage from BAUS there. He gets a huge amount of damage in with the phase rush to run away. Forces a flash for Papitero, because that's a Ghost Blade Scion, and that Q will really hurt. All the while, Azir with the Nash's Tooth won the tower rush. So that'll be a feat of strength apiece for now. So that is hit with the Winter's Bite, but nothing more to be found right now. Velia just walks through the mid lane. 50 seconds until the Ocean Dragon, but the Herald is up, and No Name is starting it up. That would be an additional feat of strength alongside that Herald, which of course can be really valuable for breaking down some of these turrets that can be otherwise a little bit obstinate to bring down, namely those mid lane tier 1s.
And there we go. The feats of strength are in the hands of Verdant, and the Herald, as I just said, also is in the hands of Verdant, so they can try to search for those outer turrets, because still all of them are standing for Los Ratones. Top one has been scratched quite a lot, so potentially there's an opening there for Verdant to go and try to accelerate things from the top lane, especially since that is exactly the part of the map where Atakhan is going to be spawning in just a couple of minutes from now on. So it would be really nice for Verdant if they would be able to put some additional pressure on the top part.
Would be it. Gold lead is now pretty much nominal, I think it's fair to say, for all that Verdant have a load of the kills. Gold, particularly with that first turret going over, has left things a little bit awkward, but Verdant, with that neutral objective secure, got themselves those feats of strength. You can see the boot upgrades already in inventory. Looking to finally secure that tier 1 top side that Pepitero has been working on since the start of the game.
Yes.
All the while, BAUS tries to get a hold of these Krugs, but No Name is there, waiting to prevent that from happening for free. Being as obnoxious as he can be on this fight.
Ooh, it's a
Oh, BAUS.
3 men here. Oh, BAUS.
Clears out the wave pretty well and then charges away.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye. The getaway driver gets away. I think he's got TP as well, so he's going to clear out the wave and begin proxy farming. Never say BAUS doesn't know what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. And I gotta say, he didn't die this time, okay? He gets the wave, he gets a very nice reset, and his team got a Drake in the meantime. So everything in this little play went pretty much according to the plan for Los Ratones. I also gotta say that BAUS is becoming much scarier right now than he was before. Again, only 1 item to his name so far, but that damage when he first went to the top lane with his item completed, that damage was surprising to say the least. Right now, Verdant would need to be careful if they decide to pull out any play around BAUS.
Yep. I think that's fair to say, and I think he's going to be trickier to manage still as the game goes on. He's still managed to get value here, even despite those early, slightly awkward deaths. Ghostblade away from the Mortal Steel, and then with the phase rush, with the Ghostblade, with the ultimate, he's actually remarkably slippery on what should be a semi-immobile champion.
That's not exactly how you would call it right now. That's the whole point of this build for SION. He's very slippery. Ronaldo is slippery as well. Doesn't even need to try to sidestep or anything.
Ouch.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh. Yeah, gets a decent Q back, and the turret shot buys some time, but BAUS has burned the phase rush. Gonna use the pop, but I think Ronaldo, with another use of the Soul and Bound in 5 or so seconds, might be looking for the full all in with No Name around as well. BAUS Burns the flash, looks to try and get away. Obstinatus takes a huge chunk from the turret, but BAUS cannot survive the 1v3 dive. Well, let's get a decent chunk onto No Name here, but the Q will buy enough time to get the Vi out to safety.
Fast, but not fast enough is BAUS. His fourth death of his so far. We are still keeping the count because it's really important. And the Herald is going to be popped on the bot lane. The idea of Verdant right now is trying to go for both of turrets on the bot lane if things work out correctly. That was a nice blink right there. But Los RATONES are rotating forces in order to stop that from happening.
Well, BAUS fell down. I think it's time for Romanian Ronaldo to face it as well. They are the GOATs, the greatest of all time! But wait, hang on, Ronaldo does a fair amount of work back, and my momentary pun was nearly proven false, but he does go down in the end. Nemesis. Now in danger on the other side. Obstinatus is looking to find and catch out the Emperor of Shurima. Nemesis returns to pro play. Well, Emperor's Divide still slowed down enough that I think Papatiro, with the scrap shield and a Comet plus Electro Harpoon, will bring down the mid laner.
The Comet and the Liandris. Unfortunately, Nemesis was not getting out of this. And the most unfortunate is that the flash is off, the ultimate is off. That death hurts for Los RATONES. 10-2 so far, with Verdant being strongly in lead. And yes, they are starting Atakhan. No vision for Los RATONES.
And Nemesis is dead for 20 seconds. They've got a good timer here, and this could be a huge moment for Verdant. Of course, got the Wukong with the flash and the clone available. Could be very difficult to keep out of here. Velia clones away. It's Ronaldo who tries to go unstoppable and buy the space. Down to 5,000 HP. The equalizer is good. It's in a fantastic choke point. On the asylum, starts goes clashing down. Ceases in the backline. Onto Velia. Flashes away. Nemesis now TPs in. BAUS goes into the passive, but does a lot of damage to the backline. They slay Voracious Atakhan. Verdant secure it. They've got the withdrawals to their name, and Los RATONES have to back away, having lost the critical neutral objective.
They lost the Atakhan, but this, if only there was an Atakhan, if only Verdant didn't manage to slay it on time. Look at Crowny. Brother is full health going out of this fight. Nobody was able to touch him, and he was dealing a lot of damage. That's so nice to look at Crowny at mobile champions like Ezreal, because he positions himself so well. The rest of the team makes sure that nobody is getting to this Ezreal, and at the same time, he is dealing a lot of damage to the enemies. If only it wasn't that Atakhan, but the moment that Verdant slayed this neutral objective, the rest of the fight makes no sense. If Los RATONES get additional kills, it will not matter whatsoever, so they just withdraw.
Do it that, and then the fight just goes a little bit wrong. BAUS tries to buy time in the backline, but the problem is it's just miles and miles and miles away from this Atakhan. And yeah, you see the clone come on through, but there's just not quite enough gap close, and when that goes down, the fight is a lot harder to take. And now that second item Hullbreaker again from Mishi comes on through on the Varus, and he's just going to keep building tank. Already got the Riftmaker in for the Rumble, who's also going to continue to get that bit harder to kill. Sterek's done as well, Immortal Shieldbow done as well. You begin to see why things like the Serpent's Fang have been built up by BAUS. There's quite a number of shields here, even if you wouldn't expect it at first, between the Sterek's and the Shieldbow and the Spirit Cleave and everything else that's coming on through. That little bit of extra ability to get through the defensive tools of Verdant.
So we have the AD Scion and the tank Varus in the same game. This is fantastic. I'm loving this new season so much, by the way. We only need Jay's tank on the top lane, but fortunately that's not happening.
Not this time around.
Yeah, but what is happening though is this turret on the mid lane is going to go down. Still, the Atakhan buff is available for Verdant, so they can force whatever they want on the map right now. And frankly, they should, because that is their time to have some fun plays, take down some objectives, and then withdraw safely and peacefully.
Oh, BAUS. It's got an ultimate. It's going the other direction. Gets cease and desist and flash in front to deny the exit. There's nowhere to go, and you can shout cowards as much as you want, Sion. There is no surviving that one, and BAUSy. It's not a good death, that one, I don't think, but maybe Ronaldo in mid lane could be punished. But we've still got the withdrawal. It's not that big a deal if he dies. He can take the opportunity to clear the wave and potentially fall and take someone with him. It doesn't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. They'll get the Glacial Fissure, and still not fallen. Finally has. And actually...
he wasn't dead.
I think it was. About to say that the buff just fell off.
It literally just fell off. Yes.
Oh no, that's slightly mistimed, Ronaldo. Oops.
Were Los RATONES waiting? Were they waiting for it to fall off? They might.
If they were, they've timed that really well. That's very possible.
That is such a good timing for them, though. But yes, they managed to take Ronaldo down. So this is a full-on death. They get the full gold. They get the XP, everything. Ooh, we have the timer. Thank you so much, observers. So he still has it.
That's so close.
He still has it. Goes in with the ultimate.
Goes in.
He's stunned. There's going to be Brom ultimate.
Yeah, still got it. And it's
And
out
right
now.
here,
Oh,
right
my
here,
days.
when Velja goes in.
Beautiful. Production smurfing it there. We saw the timing. Ronaldo plays to the edge and unfortunately is caught by the bell.
That's
Trying to pick up their third kill of the game. And it is all on Velja, actually, who's 100% of their kills this game. He's going to have to do a lot of work on this Wukong. Now the 2 items, past the level 11 mark as well for the second round of the Cyclone. So beginning to do a lot of work here on the Wukong if he gets the opportunity to get a couple casts of the ultimate off. A few minutes until the dragon spawns. There's 2 apiece right now in the game. 3,000 gold in the lead of Verdant, but certainly not unmanageable for Los Ratones, assuming they can stabilize and not give up the Baron or something.
Considering how much Verdant have taken throughout the game so far, that's not really a significant gold lead that we can talk about. They didn't manage to get too much out of the Atakhan buff. They pretty much killed BAUS, and that's it, I would say. They pushed the ball thing. Yeah, okay, the tier 2. Yes, that's something, but that's not as much as we have seen people being able to pull off with the Atakhan buff. Now they would need to go with the Baron, because they still can't really push forward, because there is still BAUS, there is still Nemesis who are holding these side lanes together. Verdant really need this Baron buff right now.
The risk of mixing our sports metaphors. Job's not done for Verdant. A little bit more to finish this game and put the nails in the coffin, and Los Ratones have got be some of the I think it is fair to say the most experienced team in the ERLs, at least in terms of level of success here. Going to be very difficult to close out against. They're going to try and jump here onto Velja, who actually ends up turning a huge amount of damage back. Crowdy! Heavy is that Crowdy, just does huge amounts of work, and Obstinatus crumbles under the weight.
And the payoff for killing somebody like that is so sweet, because so many members of Verdant have the champion bounties on their heads. So if Crowny continues doing what he just did, he's going to be the richest man alive soon.
Chains of Corruption. Reckless puts up the door, flashes away with the stand behind me as well. Stays alive. 2 minutes until the dragon. Still a while before that one. The pick onto Obstinatus cannot lead to the mid lane tier 1 falling, as Verdant defend it with a few ultimates.
That's so interesting though, because both of the teams keep pushing. But it looks like both of them need something else to continue pushing further, because none of them have really been able to find a definitive win so far. Again, the difference between the teams is not that big, and Los Ratones are doing a great job finding ways to neutralize the lead that Verdant have accumulated to themselves. They're still farming in, they're still getting in the items. We're seeing 2 items across the board for Los Ratones, which is still less than what Verdant had, but still the gap between the teams is not that big.
And Verdant are just proving to be a very contrarian team. Last week, they win the game where they've had to roll swap and sub in players and cannot win the game where their roster's at normal strength against what should have been theoretically an easier team, if I remember correctly. And this time around, they lose a game against Light Type where they were nominally favored and actually playing better against Los Ratones, who were expected to go undefeated here. We're full of some of the very best players to have ever touched the game of League of Legends. Just period. Not an ERL, not an NLC, just the game in general. And they are here 13 kills to 4 and going toe to toe here, matching items, getting the Atakhan buff, and they close this one out. Story it would be for them. The memes write themselves, guys. Look at the name of that player in front of you, Ronaldo versus BAUS. It's just beautiful to witness. I've seen the memes on Twitter. Some of them are horrifying.
I wish I didn't see some of the memes on Twitter. I don't know if they're words of art or just horrifying. Yeah. Oh,
ow! Ow! Ow!
Like ow! That damage! 3 items, BAUS. What is that?
He just goes blades and back. So of course Ronaldo has got himself a Blade of the Rune King and Strybreaker, so theoretically should be able to heal a fair amount of this up. Ronaldo just unbinds their soul away, but now Nemesis is looking to punish. Jumps on forwards, gets a huge juggle to Ronaldo, and there's nothing being done on the other side. They're all setting up for Dragon in 10 seconds. Now they're missing their mid laner.
Where is a mid laner? In 45 seconds he will be back, but that's too long of a time. That allows Los Ratones to push for the objectives right now. The Dragon just spawned is going to be a soul point for whoever takes it. The Baron is still up and running.
That's a big amount of time, but great door from Reckless. Oh, it's beautiful. There's just no way through it. They cannot find their way past that big wall. And Obstinatus goes looking for a pick alongside No Name, and they lose their support as well. And Los Ratones head towards the Baron and Verdant. They've done so much work this game. They got the Atakhan, they got the kills. In a matter of moments, it's all beginning to slip away again.
No, name is still around. But can they try to pull something with BAUS around? No, it's too late already. The Baron is down and
Papatero.
Papatero will be down too.
Mishy gets a fair amount of junk onto BAUS, who flashes away and survives. No way! Phasers doesn't work, so Mishy dies on the other side. It is calculated. It's a good life. Never mind a good death from Bausy.
He had 1 HP. I saw that. Literally just 1 to his name, and he still survives. What is this game? Look at the goal difference between the teams. The gap that was there, it's almost gone over Ronaldo. Oh, that was beautiful actually, but doesn't manage to kill anybody.
It looks nice. It doesn't actually lead to all that much.
Yeah.
Maybe that's about Ronaldo's later career. I don't know. I always preferred Messi, what can I say? But over towards the Dragon we go. I mean, soul point secured by Los Angeles, but not the soul itself. Verdant need to take stock and stabilize. They've just lost themselves a Dragon and a Baron. They're not out of this game yet. They've still got 3 items. They've still got an absolute way to win this game in BAUS. Could be in a scary position here. Avoids the Mortal Steel, waiting for Ronaldo to pop back. And the teleports begin to fly on through. Los Ratones want to play this. Here come those double TPs. Crowdy's here alongside Nemesis. Goes charging on forwards with the ultimate. Reckless on the other side. Ronaldo caught up by them. Obstinados flashes over. But where can the Yone go? Except an early grave.
We haven't really discussed the draft that much, but oh, that was close. But this last pick of Brom for Reckless, it's literally a game changer for Los Ratones, going into the team that just wants to press all of their R buttons and go right onto you all in. No breaks, no hesitation. Brom is incredible into exactly that team comp. BAUS, though, is
dead.
BAUS. Which is the
It's a good death. He clears the wave.
Yeah. And look at the bot lane in the meantime. Look at how much Los Ratones are getting. No Atakhan buff, by the way. That's all raw.
Nemesis steps on forwards with the shifting sands and the summoning of the soldiers, but the inhibitor's down, the inhibitor turret before it as well, and all the while they can't even get the tier 2 topside because BAUS just clears the wave in the face of mortal peril. Second inhibitor falls and Los Ratones have regained control of this. Nemesis goes looking good! Zonya's over Papatero. Reckless, though, will step on forwards, gets the concussive blows down onto Mishy, who is stunned up and dead to rights. Ronaldo backing away, just shy of being stunned himself. Triple to Crowdy, who is the real king of the game. Los Ratones 4-0. Early game, be damned.
It looked scary at some point. It looked like Los Ratones would actually lose their... I mean, they would not...